If you're a heating air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what's 80-20 sales energy and what do you need to know about it? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to life for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. If you're in sales, what you need to know is your energy matters. And one of the coolest books that you could pick up and read is 80-20 Sales by Perry Marshall. 80-20 Sales by Perry Marshall is a fantastic book, but there's some elements in there that if I ever had a chance to interview Perry that I would want to talk to him about, this is one of them. And this comes from me riding shotgun and watching sales presentation after sales presentation and role play after role play, that I've given you a timeline, right? I brought my mobile whiteboard, AKA talking book. If your call starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and it ends at 10:30, you got 90 minutes. My question for you is, what's your strategy for energy consumption, right? I've got 7 different ways that you can line out energy, but if you're struggling, what you should be asking and paying attention to is, how are you utilizing your energy units? So if you have 100 energy units that you could use in a presentation, are you evenly spreading them? Are you front loading them? Are you using them all towards the end? Now, here's the thing. There is not a one-size-fits-all approach to this, and this is why it's super important to understand that my version is not going to be your version, and your version is not going to be mine. There's a huge percentage chance that we are going to be 2 separate people, and this right here is why you should join my email subscription right there. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. And so let's say that you're struggling as a salesperson today, and you're like, Scott, what's this 80-20 sales energy thing all about? I'm glad you asked. I've got 7 different ways lined out. And depending upon what type of salesperson you are and your personality, once again, everybody's going to be a little bit different. Number 1, we've got the straight line energy. Straight line energy just means you're that same dude, the same chick all the way through the presentation. You've got the upside down smile. You got the upside down smile where you start low and in the middle, you peak out, and at the end, you end low. Like, just like in the middle is where your biggest burst of energy is. Now, the opposite of that, number 3, is going to be at the beginning, you have a ton of energy, and at the end, you have a ton of energy, okay? Number 4, you start low and end high. Number 5 is going to be you start high and end low. Number 6 is going to be a middle dip, like in the middle, like you kind of get tired and you kind of like, oh my goodness, I need some coffee, I need a donut, I need something. Or in the middle, you peak up and you're super excited in the middle, and then that's it. So I have seen closers in all of these, right? There's not, I want to make sure that I'm very clear on this 80-20 sales energy. There's not a one size fits all for people in the interactions that they have and how they have conversations with people. You may say, hey, Scott, I am this guy. I start slow, I build up, and at the end, I'm kind of out of energy, okay? You may say, hey, Scott, I start at the beginning and I build up my energy, and it's like, this is how I do it. But like, if you're saying, hey, Scott, I'm really struggling and I don't know why I'm losing deals, my question for you would be like, where is your energy consumption the greatest? Are you using a ton of energy on rapport? Are you using all of your energy and not leaving anything for the closing process? So for me, I'm gonna give you a tip. I'm gonna say, hey, here's my version of how I tend to be in the sales process. I ramp. I'm number 4. I push up. Right? I start slow. I'm not like super energetic in the beginning, but I have to conserve my energy. Now, if I'm struggling in my personal life, if I have to do a presentation, I'm more of number 5, where I flip and I push all of my energy up front. And by the time that I get to the point where I'm like, oh my goodness, I need my energy, I don't have it. And so for you, your ability to recognize that 80-20, the Pareto principle, can be split up. So we could do 5, we could do 90, and we can do 5, right? That's one way where you can split up your energy. You could do 5, 90, and then 5, right? That gives you 100. You could do 10, 80, 10, right? Like you're gonna have to figure out your own cheat code. Like I did 10, 80, 10. I did 10, 80, 10. I did, right? You have to figure out your own cheat code. But one of the things that, like, if you get a chance to go watch and ride with a salesperson, you should see what they're doing for their energy level. You should see how they interact. You should see where they store those units of interaction for. And everybody's going to be a little bit different. There is not And I want to be very clear about this. There's not a one-size-fits-all process for figuring out 80-20 energy, but you as a closer, you as a salesperson, you as an entrepreneur need to figure out where you're at and where your units are and what you do with your struggle. Because here's what's going to happen is whoever you are when you're successful is probably going to be completely opposite when you're struggling, because it's a different type of energy for you. So I would take one of these 7 and draw them out. Is it a straight line, upside down smile, full on smile, bottom to top, top to bottom, middle dip, middle peak, right? Where are you on the top? And then where are you when you struggle, right? 80-20 sales energy is something you should be paying attention to, especially when you're struggling. When you're really good at sales, pay attention to where you're focusing your energy. Like, just make a list. Go out, you like, sit down in your car after you go do your presentation and figure out, where am I at? There you go. You got 1 of 2 things to do from here, just 1 of 2. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update, or hit follow. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.